All right. Action Point is a comedy film.
Introduce ourselves first.
You know what? You're right.
You're right. Just gonna balls deep immediately.
All right. So I'm Malachi.
I'm Dakota.
And we are reviewing a movie called Action Point. It was a comedy movie released in 2018 or 19. Google says it was released in 2018. Hulu says it was released in 2019.
I trust
Watch
Hulu
the movie
more.
on Hulu.
Hulu's not trustworthy.
Google has steered me wrong before.
Who hasn't Google steered wrong before?
That's a good question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Google is a harsh bitch. Unlike Johnny Knoxville, who at this point is kind of
the white Jackie
I don't want to say the man's a national treasure.
He is a national treasure.
Kind of is.
He is a man based his career off doing like the most American-esque things by just legitimately hurting himself for just entertainment.
The man's whole career is just based on. Well, I mean, realistically, it's based on Jackass.
It is.
And
it really is. It's like
so
an homage.
everything he's kind of done is kind of Jackass-esque in his stunt work, which I'm pretty sure it looked like him doing his own stunts. I would assume he did his own stunts. I don't see why he wouldn't.
I mean, even in the credits, like they did one when he was like going down the
yeah,
thing,
they had
and he like banged his head and they even like showed like the marks that made him.
Mm-hmm. They had like EMTs come in and check him out, and like all the other actors were kind of standing by the sidelines. So yeah, I would imagine that Johnny Knoxville did a lot of his own stunts in this movie, and it is fairly stunt heavy.
It is. That's the best part about it.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the comedy comes in.
Yeah.
It's really physical comedy, physical slapstick sort of comedy. At one point, yeah, he launches himself through a barn door. That was pretty sweet.
Catapulted through a fucking barn door. That shit was pretty funny.
Yeah, no, overall, I think this movie was really funny, and something that I wasn't really expecting, but I guess I should expect at this point, is that it was pretty heartfelt. Like, it was kind of a sweet movie.
Like, I would have never, I knew, like, the aspect of it was, like, him telling, like, his, like, grandson or granddaughter, granddaughter?
Yeah, it was his granddaughter.
Yeah, granddaughter about, like, he had an amusement park. That's all I knew about it. I didn't know it was going to be, like, that heartfelt about him and his daughter. But that was a pretty nice turn.
Yeah, no, and I didn't really expect it at all, but you kind of should if you've seen Bad Grandpa, and if like the kind of heartfelt scenes in Bad Grandpa, if you can really call them that. I mean, there is some like sweet stuff in there with him and his grandson.
Yeah, that is true.
If that works for you, then I think this movie's gonna work for you. Now, that being said, I don't want to say if Bad Grandpa works for you, then I think this movie's going to work for you, because they could not be more different.
It's like Jackass meets Bad Grandpa. God, I guess
I wouldn't even put Bad Grandpa in the situation, because in Bad Grandpa, really the whole thing of the movie, it was kind of a gimmick where they would,
fuck with just people.
Yeah,
IRL.
it would be like pranking simulator.
Yeah,
and whereas this movie, you could tell these were all actors. The girl from the new Bill and Ted movie was in here, which I didn't know. I like her. I don't know why. I like her. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you like. Yeah, I thought she didn't really have, like, she showed up like throughout the entire movie. She didn't have that many lines, I guess. But she's the main character.
She really didn't have a ton of lines.
No. But like without her, it wouldn't work properly though, because like throughout, like, she's just a mainstay.
She is a mainstay.
Yeah.
And it's kind of Johnny Knoxville does have these kids working for him. In the movie, they're kids, and
yeah.
In real life, I imagine they're grown-ass adults. I know that one girl is the girl from Bill and Ted. I think she's like 20 or 19. She's something like that.
Yeah. I feel like you just had, the way that shit was ended up, you have to be 18 or older to do that.
Probably.
Or else they
more often than not, the kids weren't really involved in the stunts.
No, they did like a few, like, oh, you're just gonna get like a scratch kind of stunt, It wasn't like full blown Johnny Knoxville jumping off a tree on top of a shed.
Johnny Knoxville did. He ended up. That was funny too. Throughout this movie, they have this gag where there's a bear that is. This bear's basically an alcoholic, and the bear lives near Johnny Knoxville's little shack that he has out there in the middle of nowhere. And in the beginning of the movie, he's up in a tree, and the bear's trying to get up there, not to get him, but to get the beer that's in his hand, because it can smell the beer. And what ends up happening is he ends up jumping out of the tree onto a shed roof. That looked like it hit hard.
It did. You could see that he was still right there, like trying not to be like, motherfucker!
Yeah. And of course, the bear ends up getting his beer.
Yeah, the way he does it is like so, it's perfect, because he just like opens up his lips, like how like bears like do like the like sniff like kind of sound. He just like open it up, and he just like pours his head backwards, and you just see the beer go down around his like chin and everything.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice.
That's another thing. I don't know if it's a thing. Like, we literally just looked this up before we started filming, and it turns out this movie has like a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes, 15%. And it was like a 0.5 out of 5 on some other website.
No one has ever heard of.
Yeah, I've never heard of that website. I don't know what it is, but I
couldn't tell you why you wouldn't like this. Like, there is no doubt. I don't know exactly why.
I could see if someone wouldn't like it. Like, yeah, if you're kind of a Karen. If you're kind of a Karen, you probably won't like it, because they're doing things that Karens dislike. They're kind of causing a little bit of ruckus, and they're really not giving a shit with this stuff.
They are the Karen Antichrist.
They are the anti-Karens, and but aside from that, I think maybe you won't like the film if you're not a fan of like physical comedy.
Because who doesn't like seeing somebody kick in the nuts?
Yeah, see, well, that's the thing. A lot of people don't like that immature style of comedy, which I don't.
Because they don't want to admit.
Well, I don't necessarily blame them, because I don't really like fart jokes.
Fart jokes are just outdated.
I don't know. I've always thought fart jokes were gross. Like, even as a kid, I didn't like fart jokes. I thought they were gross. But I'm immature in literally every other facet of my comedy.
Yeah.
Someone gets kicked in the nuts like 3 or 4 times in this movie. I don't remember if it was in the movie itself or if I know it happens like 3 or 4 times.
There was at least 2 of them. I can extremely remember one was when the kid just like fucking winded up his fist in like the bear mascot.
Yeah, he just slams this guy's
and
balls.
then I'm pretty sure in the credits they have it to where like the kid really just comes back and just does it again, because it looks like the guy in the bear mascot just comes back up, and then you just see the kid running towards them and fucking goes for a second swing, and you see him go back down. And I'm just like, fucking what?
Yeah, I mean, so if that kind of comedy isn't your thing, this movie is pretty heavy in that kind of comedy. It's pretty heavy in the haha you got hurt, that's funny sort of comedy. But I don't know, we've always been the type of people.
Even when we kind of used to do.
Yeah.
Kind of that way of kind of stuff back when we were kids.
It wasn't as stupid, but it was pretty stupid.
It was on the borderline of
it was pretty stupid.
It was like your Jackass starter kit.
Your Jackass starter kit. Yeah. But no, we have just kind of grown up with that sense of humor. Like, someone slipping and falling on the street in real life, we are both gonna laugh at that.
So someone take a tumble, I'm gonna have a rumble in my belly.
Tumble equals rumble.
Mm-hmm.
There was stuff like that, but it is all slapstick. That's the thing. Most of the comedy in this, which for me, I enjoy slapstick comedy. I love the Scary Movie movies. I love early Adam Sandler. Your Billy Madisons, your Happy Gilmores.
Your Jim Carrey.
I love Jim Carrey. So it is very slapstick, and so if slapstick humor isn't your thing, maybe this movie won't be your thing. But if you love slapstick humor, I really think this is a really funny movie. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
as far as like a pure comedy film, sorry, there was someone just driving by in the truck. Pretty sure they had their window down too.
I think they're looking for their drug dealer.
That could be. We have a running joke now. Yeah, I'm sensing it already. Running joke. Because we film in the Walmart parking lot. The joke was...
Hey, it's gonna be at midnight. There better be some weed dealings here. I'm not gonna lie.
The joke was that the other day I was talking to him, but I was like, you think cops are gonna come to the parking lot and like be like, what the hell is going on here? Because I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty shady. Two dudes standing around in the Walmart parking lot.
That is true. I'm gonna give you that.
And so this deal
The deal. We dealing now, by the way. My number is.
We aren't. For legal reasons, that's a joke.
We're dealing, but for legally, we're not. We're not. So it's okay. It's okay.
No, but the running joke now is that we see a car pull up and
They meet and they're dealing. Now?
Yep, that's what that is.
Yo, can I get a discount?
But you know, basically, and throughout this whole movie, there's this dickhead character that you don't like. I never really got his.
Gonna be, I think his actual name. I think his last name was like Nick Knob.
Nick Knob
Or Knobnick. Knobnick because
Slob Dick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slob Dick because Knob.
Yeah.
Knob.
They make fun of his name.
And then the daughter was like Slobcock or some shit like that.
Yeah, it
like
was
that one.
Slobcock. Maybe it was Hopcock.
I don't think it's Hopcock because I feel like that'd make it too easy.
Yeah, but like Hopcock could be a last name. Yeah, you have kind of this asshole character that you don't like in the movie, and I didn't really get. Oh God, he was the most insufferable. He was like, he reminded me of what we thought Roberto from the New Mutants was gonna be, but he actually turned out to be that character. He was the biggest douchey douche that's ever douched on the face of this planet. Yeah, pretty awful stuff as far as his character goes. But you know, that's good. It's good because it gives you someone to be like, get what you deserve.
I fucking hate him.
You get what you deserve.
I was happy when he got trampled. Literally trampled.
Yeah, no, he gets literally trampled at one point.
He got human stampeded. Human stampeded.
Yeah. In the words of Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, you get what you fucking deserve. And then what even was the bald guy's motivation? Was he just like, did he? Because I know Johnny Knoxville at one point said that he knew this guy in high school. Was that like his motivation? Was Johnny Knoxville a dick to this guy in high school? And now he just hates him, or was it because he wanted the land? Because I know he did want the land. I think
he wanted the land, mainly.
Was he the owner of the other theme park?
I think so. It was either
that makes more
or
sense.
He was like some kind of head up or something.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Because his son was always wearing the theme park gear. I think that must have been his motivation. He wanted to get rid of this theme park, which nowadays this theme park would never pass.
I wish it would. That'd be hella fun. Because
you could tell just about everything in this theme park, like it'll hurt you, but it won't be like you are going to be paralyzed for the rest of your life.
It's gonna make you stronger.
It's gonna give you character marks.
Yeah.
That's what this theme park would do.
You're gonna get a scratch or a bruise or two. You're not gonna hurt yourself that bad.
Yeah.
Unless you jump off a tree.
Well, yeah. Onto a shed. Which ironically wasn't actually even at the theme park. It was.
I will say Benny. One of the characters, Benny, was probably my favorite one. He was the one with
Benny
the
was the uncle, right?
Yeah, he was the hatchet.
Yeah. So there's this character named Benny, and he's the crazy uncle character. Did it really well. He almost kind of, thinking back on it, he kind of reminded me of Rob Schneider from 50 First Dates.
Oh yeah, yeah. I see that now.
Yeah.
I see it, especially some of the shit that especially wearing that like the fishnet crop top.
He was always wearing these fishnet shirts that didn't fully fit.
No.
He ended up with a really hot girlfriend. That makes zero sense.
Actually, it makes sense back in that time.
It does?
It makes sense back in like the late 70s because all like the hippie stuff was still happening.
Well, yeah, but like, free love didn't apply. I was about to say free love didn't apply to ugly dudes.
He wasn't ugly
But-
though. He's not ugly.
Well, probably not. I mean, I'd fuck his beard. I like that guy's beard.
I am a dude, but that was one tasty dish.
I liked the guy's beard. That's my most common compliment for guys.
That
I'm
is
like,
true.
that is an incredible beard.
Like-
I get beard envy really easy. That's how I measure the integrity of a man, is by his beard. Because I can't grow one, so I'm
he'd see
like
the
really
actor
envious.
for Benny in real life, be like, I'm gonna need a touch. Let me touch.
Go up to Brian from Comic Book Men and like, just let me give it a little fondle. Come on.
Just essentially
Come on.
caress it.
Come on, man, don't be a dick. Let me fondle your beard.
I want to touch you.
I want to touch you. Come here, damn you, let me touch you.
But yeah, he was my favorite character. Just like, he just was like, he was the high fun uncle.
He was, and actually, I thought they were gonna go somewhere with his character, and
I'm so
really
happy they
hoping.
didn't. I'm so happy they didn't.
So throughout the movie, you see Benny popping pills that aren't his, and actually, that's kind of, from a Karen perspective,
Mhm.
that might be another reason that this movie got trashed on, is because they were really nonchalant about drug use. Like, there's a guy that snorts coke,
And then
there's
there's
a guy
when
that
he's
pops
trying to,
pills.
and when he actually lays out the line of coke, the wind blows, go to the cotton candy machine.
Yeah, so everyone's eating this cocaine via cotton candy. So that might be another reason this movie got trashed a bit. They're like, oh, it's so irresponsible to show drug use in this light. But I feel like if you have a brain in your head, you should know drug use ain't all fun and games, kids. But yeah, I really kind of Christ is the Redeemer, but no, I legitimately thought that he was gonna overdose or something.
Yeah.
Really glad that didn't happen, because I don't know, it would have brought down the mood.
It would have brought down the mood. It would probably made me cry.
Yeah, it's just not. It's kind of, to me, it seemed like it would have been out of character for this movie.
Yeah.
Because although this movie is kind of heartfelt in the places that, you know, it has this kind of message, like, you know, although you might not always show it,
The love is there.
the love is there. And, you know, especially concerning the father character and the daughter character and Johnny Knoxville and whoever played his daughter. I don't know her name.
She has a really familiar though.
But no, that was, and that was all good. So even though that kind of heartfulness is there, and kind of, it gives you the warm and fuzzies, because you get the sense that, you know, these are two characters that love each other, and, you know, you want to see them prosper. There we go. You don't want to see this daughter character end up like
A hooer in the back street.
like going all goth on her dad and being like, I hate you, Dad.
There was a point where we thought
wish
that was
you
going
were
to
my
happen,
dad.
but it didn't. So
Well, I never really thought that was going to happen.
I kind of thought it was going to happen.
What I kind of thought was going to happen is exactly what did happen, is she would get really disappointed in Johnny Knoxville, and then it would kind of get better later, which is, it kind of happens. Johnny Knoxville isn't the greatest parent. Let's get that out of the way.
I mean, yeah,
Like,
but
he's the dad that you want, but he's the dad that you probably shouldn't have.
yeah, he's the dad that's gonna like not gonna flying fuck what you do.
Like, he's
You're
the
gonna
dad.
need the stern mom, and he's
Yeah.
gonna need like
Yeah.
you're gonna need like the Hitler mom of like
Yep.
of restrictions.
The tiger mom.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna, because he's the dad that'll come bail you out of jail, and you're like, and he's like,
You want to go do it again?
No. He'll come bail you out of jail, and
Fucking do it again.
and he'll be like, "What'd you do? How'd you end up here?" And you're like, "Dad, look, man, I know I screwed up, but I took my pants off and I jumped off of the school rooftop. Are you mad at me?" And he's like, "Mad? Are you kidding? That's awesome. Let's go do that next Tuesday."
I'll show you how it's done.
I'll show you how it's done. So, yeah, because there is that one point where he gets his daughter kind of runs off and she gets a little schnockered. A little bit. She didn't really act drunk, but what you kind of gather is that they let her drink a little too much, and
so far we
because
only know she had one beer.
Yeah, they tell her she can only have one.
But we know that escalated to a few.
Yeah, I think she had a few. Even though she doesn't really act drunk, it's not really a thing where she's, acting drunk, but she vomits. Unless she just randomly gets sick and the director is expecting us to understand that she's just randomly sick, which that'd be an odd choice. I don't think they do that. That doesn't sound like a thing.
People do. I mean, she could have only had one and then was not used to it at all.
Yeah, that could be a thing. Yeah, that could be a thing. But yeah, and Johnny Knoxville doesn't really do anything about it. He's just like, here, let me hold your hair while you vomit out the side of my car.
The main part he was concerned about was like, why you went away? That was basically the main part of that.
Yeah, and if he wasn't concerned about that, he'd be a pretty terrible guy. Like, he's not a great parent.
But he cares about the well-being of his daughter.
Yeah.
That one's extremely well put out there.
Yeah. And that's where a majority of the, heartfulness comes in, and
the father-daughter love.
Yeah. And even later with his granddaughter, there was a point towards the end where, I guess I won't give it totally away, even though this is a spoiler review. We're going to put spoilers in the thumbnail because we have spoiled a lot of this damn movie. So if you're watching this and you're like, "Oh, thanks for spoiling it," it's going to be in the thumbnail. So unless you don't read thumbnails.
I mean, I don't read thumbnails. I just look at the video preview and be like, that's the guy. Right,
right.
I need that.
That man in the Walmart parking lot, he seems like he knows a thing or two because he's seen a thing or two.
We aren't farmers.
Nor are we J.K. Simmons. I wish I was J.K. Simmons. That man's beautiful. He was Commissioner Gordon.
I know this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish he was more Commissioner Gordon.
Or maybe if they made a stand-on Batman movie with Batfleck.
Should have. They should have, but Ben Affleck didn't want to.
Because the fucking asshole fans.
Yeah. From what I understood, it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. But
let me have my dreams.
Let me have my dreams. But from what I understand, it's like the pressure of the fans going, "Oh man, this movie's bullshit," got to him, and he's like, I can't do this.
They're a bunch of assholes.
And he was, on top of that, from what I understand, he was already
struggling with some shit.
Yeah, he was already struggling with some shit, and he was struggling with alcoholism.
He wasn't recovering.
Yeah. Which, another thing is, I heard that they kind of go into that a little in that movie, The Way Back.
The Way Back, is that the new one?
Yeah, it's the newer one where he plays the basketball coach. That looked like a good movie.
I haven't seen the trailer, but it sounded decent.
It looked it looked like a tearjerker, like Rocky. Yeah.
I love Rocky.
It's a good movie.
And Creed. Creed makes me cry like a bitch.
I will say that I like Rocky. Like, don't get me wrong, Rocky's a great movie, but it's not one that I watch all the time. Like, what's my emotion movie? Like, what's the emotion? Okay.
You're like, that's a low
blow. Oh God,
blow.
let me explain.
That's a low blow.
I watched The Notebook one time with my mom.
I mean...
And that is the closest a film has ever made me.
Train to Busan. I remember you telling me that you almost cried at the end.
Well, yeah. But, no, this was a lot worse than Train to Busan. I was fighting it so hard because I told my mom beforehand. I was like, I don't cry during movies, so bullshit.
You just hold it in during the movie, and when the credits roll, you fucking bawl.
Like I'm trying to hold back a pee that I've been holding in for hours. Yeah, toward the end of that movie messed me up. But no, I think Logan more than anything.
Logan,
yeah.
Or Endgame.
Endgame gets me, but I've seen Logan more times. I just mean a movie that is like it's a tearjerker and you watch it a lot. I think Logan's my movie more than anything. Anyway, we got off onto a big tangent. Hopefully that's okay. Lots of forks in this road. Hopefully that's okay, and you're here because you like talking about movies. You didn't just come to hear us go.
Come.
No, not just now. God, they're gonna think we are something we're not.
I know.
Anyway, hopefully you didn't just come over here to like hear us say, "Yeah, I like the movie."
I feel like if you, you're the like movie review watcher, dude. But I feel like I feel like if I was going to watch a movie review, I wouldn't just want the review of the movie.
Right.
I'd want like more like the tidbits.
Like BSing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got
and that is kind of what we're going for here.
Yeah, like I want the Avatar. I don't want the whole thing. I want Airbender.
Which it's pretty easy for us to go for that because that's just kind of how we naturally are.
Mm-hmm.
I have ADHD, so my brain kind of bounces off onto a lot of tangents.
And I never usually stick to one thing to begin with, so.
Yeah. So that's comes kind of natural to us, and and probably more than likely the more professional thing to do is just kind of give you the thoughts on the movie. But it's good. For the love of God, we're filming in a Walmart parking lot. That ought to tell you something about our level of professionalism. Like I know Chris Stuckman. I don't know if I've ever showed you Chris Stuckman. I've showed you his man cave. Remember that?
I don't remember. I remember you telling me things about this man.
Okay.
I don't remember. Was he the one with the anime shit?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
He had a lot of anime stuff. He was wearing a Dragon Ball Z sweatshirt. Yeah, like Chris Stuckman does a lot of he's very professional. He tells you about the movie, and he's a lot better.
Well, is it only a one-man show?
Yeah.
Well, is it the other dudes that you watch that do they sidetrack to some things?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I feel like if it's a one-man show, you're not gonna be showing your multiple voices.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. And I'm sure he edits a lot of the stuff out.
Yeah.
A lot of these reviewers that you watch on YouTube, I'm sure, edit a lot of stuff out, which this is going to be relatively unedited. Might edit here and there, but I don't think so.
Depends on what I can do on the phone.
Yeah, realistically, all we have right now is a phone. So don't expect anything super spectacular in image, audio, content. We'll try to keep it entertaining. Hopefully it has been.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I've said pretty much all I needed to say about this movie, other than I think we got off onto a tangent right when we were about to talk about that thing that sort of happens at the end.
Yeah, that's where we crossed the...
Yeah. So there is a thing that sort of happens in the end, and I was like, fuck, don't do that.
That would have fucked
Do
up.
not.
I was gonna be like, I love this movie 100%, and if they ended up doing this, I would have been like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah, well, because the thing is it was such a fun movie up until that point. That, I could watch. This might become one of the comedies that I just go back to. When I need a comedy, it's Happy Gilmore, it's Billy Madison, it's Liar Liar, it's
The Mask.
No, I actually haven't seen that one in years and years. I do like it. It's just weird. Yeah, I need to watch that again. But the Ace Ventura movies, so this, I don't know, it might become one of the comedies that I watch a lot, just because I don't know. It's so easy to watch, and now that I know that thing doesn't really happen, it's a fake out. Which thank God I don't like when you're watching a really fun movie and it's like, oh yeah, this is a really fun time. This is a really funny movie,
and then old Larry gets taken out in the back and shot. I don't want that. I don't want that today.
Yeah.
I don't need that shit.
So yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen. That was a good decision.
Very good decision.
And it fit into the character of Johnny Knoxville.
Extremely well.
How it played out, because he's always been this kind of like
prankster.
Yeah, well, on top of that, he's always been this kind of like, I don't care. He's very boomerish, like yeah. I don't care what you think about this joke. This joke is gonna happen.
I'm still gonna send it.
Don't be silly. I'm still gonna send it. And yeah, it works really well in that way. There was something. It had to have been towards the beginning of the film, where I remember I was like, this is going to pop up in my dislikes later, which we weren't actually even intending on reviewing this film tonight. We were going to review Maniac from 1980, which we also watched tonight. What ended up happening is we both ended up liking this movie more than Maniac, and we figured it's just going to be a better review for both more passionate about the movie. Don't get me wrong, I like Maniac.
We just both liked it. We liked Action Point more.
Yeah.
Because I picked the better movie.
You did pick the better movie, which I'm pretty salty. I had already seen Maniac, so could be me just high on a new movie. But I remember something towards the beginning of the film where it's like, this is going to show up in my dislikes later, and I cannot remember for the life of me what it was. So it really must have not been that important. If I just can't remember what this was, I can't really knock the film for something I can't remember. Not too much. Yeah. I'm not going to give this film a 10 because I really think that a 10 should be reserved for something that is masterful.
AKA anything Batman that we review on, probably.
No. No, because we might do a Batman Forever review. That's not a 10. That is not a 10 out of 10 movie. Same with Batman Returns. I don't think Batman Returns is a 10.
Is that the one with George Clooney?
Oh, God, no. That's Batman and Robin. That's god-awful.
What's Batman Returns?
Batman Returns is the one with Danny DeVito. Where he's like, I'm going to show her my French flipper trick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
I played this stinking city like a hawk from hell. Anyway, no, but I mean, like, something like,
The Patriot?
The Patriot is a 10. Alien is a 10. Silence of the Lambs. I don't want to spoil all of my 10 out of 10 movies for you guys, so just in case we actually review these sometime down the road, which, more than likely, because...
Patriot, The
Patriot we gotta do, because The Patriot is...
And when I get your ass on Braveheart.
Amazing. I haven't seen Braveheart. That's a thing. I have not seen Braveheart. I have it on DVD and I have not seen it. We do need to watch that. That'd be a good idea.
If we do that, I'm gonna show you Rob Roy and Braveheart at the same time, because those are both they're both like the same S kind of thing.
Okay.
Both very good movies. And Rob Roy has the Liam Neesons.
Oh, Liam Neesons. We
and
love us some Liam Neesons.
Liam
Neeson. It's got the Mel Gibsons too?
No, I'm talking about Braveheart. It's got the Mel Gibson.
Oh, I was getting pumped. I was like, really? Two Mel Gibsons in a row?
2 minutes.
A cherry red Ferrari for free? Sounds good to me.
That's a good movie too. Is it what was it?
That's Bedtime Stories.
Bedtime Stories, yeah. I was like Happy Ever After or some shit I was thinking it was called.
Yeah, no, it's Bedtime Stories. I am, however, this is solely an enjoyment spectrum. Understand this, that my ratings come mostly from my enjoyment. Yeah. Because my thing is, I'm not good at sniffing out a bad script. I can sniff out an awful script.
90% of the movies you watch have awful scripts.
Yeah, I watch a lot of bad movies. A lot of shitty movies. Terrible. but I can't sniff out. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I just don't care as much as a lot of people seem to. Like, a lot of people seem to, like, be like, oh man, characters in this movie sucked. And it's like, yeah, I thought they were okay.
Yeah. Like, I just had to have fun.
Yeah. And that's mostly, so don't take these as reviews more as they are discussions.
Do we have fun? We have fun.
Yeah. We're just more discussing the movie. Where we can be critical and we can bring up points we are critical of.
The best way I can describe it...
Don't think of us as these film aficionados. You already don't. We're shooting in a Walmart parking lot.
Yeah. The best way I can describe, like, the way that is, like, when you go to the doctor and you have a pain, they, like, give you, like, a 1 to 10. Except you're like, did you enjoy this? Give me a 1 to 10. That's the best way I can describe it, in my opinion.
Now I'm just picturing, like, outside of the movie theater, there's a guy with, like, a scale with, like, happy faces and frowny faces, and, like, crying babies on it. It's like, you pick the crying baby, and they're like, oh god, give him some aspirin. Yeah, but I really loved this movie. Again, I won't give it a 10 because I think 10s should be reserved for things that are masterful. I will, however, say I think it's a 9.
I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I agree with that.
Based on my own personal enjoyment, I think this movie's a 9. I think I'm going to go back and revisit it again. I do recommend, if you're a fan of slapstick comedy, if you like Johnny Knoxville, at this point we're both pretty high on the guy.
Yeah.
I think you'll enjoy this movie.
If you like Jackass or Bad Grandpa in general, you're just going to like this movie.
And if you like dick jokes.
Yeah.
There's quite a few dick jokes in this movie.
Quite a few dick jokes. I mean, Johnny Knoxville he's gonna want a lot of dick jokes probably. So.
Yeah. Anywho, so we're both at a 9 on this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all I really have to say about this one. It was a really good movie.
It was.
Really fun time. If you have the means, watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
Till next time. Later.